Hey, we are back for the OBEE Day 27, the Out-of-Body Experience Experiment. I'm your host, Ryan Stanley. Hope you're doing well, enjoying whatever is going on in your world in this moment of now. Quick update. So today's Saturday. Last night was Friday night. I did not have any out-of-body experience. I mentioned, I think if you watch yesterday's video, that I had a ton of stuff to do. I ended up having to take my mother-in-law to the doctors. I ended up having a business meeting at a Barnes & Noble's down in New Jersey. I'm already in New Jersey, but down in another area of New Jersey. That went really well, but came home. It was a longer day. I ended up drinking a couple of, I didn't get too crazy. I had two 16-ounce. In fact, here's what I had one of these. I don't know if you guys are fans of Trogs. Try one of these, Trogs IPA, Double Blizzard. Delicious. Never had that before. That was the one I was excited about. And then this other one from Lord Hobo, which is called Boom Sauce, which I also really like. Highly recommend either of those if you're into IPAs or double IPAs. Anyway, so I had one or two of those and then called it an early evening, continued to watch that show, which I mentioned yesterday, called Inner Worlds, Outer Worlds. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out yesterday's video. Highly recommended. Interesting. I don't know if it's called a documentary or not, but informative film about vibration, universal patterns. But I digress. We are here to talk about the out-of-body experience, which I did not have last night. I did go into some visualization. In fact, I woke up this morning around 4:30. Here's some. I'm noticing this habit or this pattern. I'm suddenly just trying to wake up almost exactly at 4:30 on a regular basis, and so I did today. But because of my mother-in-law had some surgery yesterday, she was actually staying at our house and she stayed in the guest room. So instead of trying the OBE at 4:30 this morning, instead came down here and did a meditation from 4:45 to 5:45. It was pretty phenomenal, and then went about my day. So nothing to report in the OBE area or the Lucid Dream area, but I did want to share with you guys. Actually, I meant to share this yesterday, and I'm glad I have to share today because I don't have too much else to share. But 2 nights ago, so Thursday night, so the day 26 technically, so every day I do what I call my I am statements. And I've been doing these for years. It's based on a concept taught in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. He calls it his statement of desire. And 2 to 3 times a day, typically in the morning, more often than not 2 times, but in the morning when I wake and kind of start my day, and then in the evening before I go to bed, I do what I call my I am statements. And I typically sit here. You can't see it, but there's a vision board that I have right behind this computer where the camera is. I stand in front of that and I close my eyes and I utilize feeling and envision my affirmations, and I say them out loud and I imagine myself being there. In fact, after this video, at the end of this video, I will put up a card. I'll put up a card right here that shows a whole video that I've done in the past about affirmations and the value of them and how to actually properly do them to bring out whatever you want to manifest. So anyway, I digress. So I do this every night as part of my nightly ritual. And so Thursday night, I was tired. It was a long day. I was ready for bed. I kind of didn't feel like doing the I am statements, but that's when a little bit of self-discipline shows up and is helpful. And so I kind of wanted to do both my visualizing, which I showed you a couple days ago around the different parts of the office, and my I am statements simultaneously. So just almost as an additional experiment, I started doing my I ams while I was physically holding the pottery and physically, moving the rocks for the salt lamp and picking up the books and all the stuff that I showed you a couple days ago. So I was doing all that and saying my I ams out loud at the same time. So they were 2 different things that I was programming my subconscious to do, and I was doing them simultaneously. And after I got done kind of going from that side to that side and finishing the whole thing, my I ams are pretty long. So they're about 10 minutes long, 10 to 12 minutes long. And so I just kept going and I kept doing it with my eyes open for the first time, I think, in that I can recall. But so I did this the other night with sincere passion, as if I was having a conversation with someone in the room. And I was sharing with them who I am and what I've built in my life, what I've created and what I've manifested and how I feel in every single day. And I don't want to say it was more powerful. I did want to say it was a different experience. And that's something that I'm going to mess around with a little bit more. I think I'm going to try experimenting a little bit more with the eyes open I am statements. And so again, as a journal in my life, I in the grand scheme of things, I don't know how many people are actually going to watch these videos, but I know I will at some point come back, and I hope my kids do at some point and come back and see them. So just reminding myself at this point, today's January 30th, 2021. One more thing I'm shifting gears is I'm becoming more, it's almost like a meditation, an eye-open meditation. In fact, interestingly enough, as I'm thinking out loud now, I have a good friend who is just signed up to spend a month at an abbey up in Nova Scotia. and he's going to be there for a month. And one of the things that he told me about is that they do meditate every day for hours at a time, but they do it with their eyes open. And he's a little bit freaked out about having to sit in this room with a bunch of monks with his eyes open for hours without speaking and only meditating. So stepping into that a little bit, while this is a different type of a meditation, that it's in the fact of a vocal, me speaking about my I ams and who I am and what I want to create and what I have created in my life and feeling gratitude for it and all that. Typically I do that with my eyes closed, where I'm able to envision the future. But with this eyes open experience, I'm able to make it more lucid, so to speak, and we'll see what type of reaction and response we get. So that's what I have for today. No new out-of-body experience, new way to meditate on my I am statements. Going into Saturday night, I might make some pickled eggs again tonight. I don't know, getting crazy here in 2021. It's cold outside. It's about 21 degrees last I checked. I might go out and build a fire and just spend a little bit of time outside in nature if I can. And that is all I have planned for today. Actually, that's not true. I got a bunch of emails. I got a bunch of work to do somewhere in the middle. So that's where I'm at. That's who I am. As always, thoughts, tips. Oh, one other thing. While I was waiting at the hospital for my mother-in-law to come out, I did finally finish the rest of that book by William Buhlman. And I did get a little bit more. I was reminded quickly of some of the other things that I can obtain in this out-of-body experience. And I did get even more excitement for it. My excitement was rekindled. It's not that it has died down or slowed down, but as much as now you're 27 days in with little results, sometimes as you get tired at the end of the day, I may be putting forth less effort. I know when I first started reading this book and I first saw the first documentary and I first started doing the visualizing, as I mentioned, it was like super intense. And so I would say some days, especially on the weekends when I'm relaxed a little bit more, I'm less passionate about the OBE and bringing it about. But even finishing this book was helpful in rekindling that as well. So I'm excited to see what tonight brings, as always. And I will see you tomorrow and keep you in the loop. But in the meantime, thank you for being you. I will see you on the other side.